Whoa, it's been a while since I've done one of these. What'd I miss? Well, actually, I've been feeling kinda down lately and kinda lonely. No, I mean important things. Oh, well, nothing's changed and the world is still shitty. Fuck, well, okay. Do you have any video ideas? Cause I'm kinda stuck on those. Oh, you can talk about that one time you went to the beach and your hand turned dark purple. What? No, that's weird. You can talk about how you've completed absolutely nothing meaningful over the last 2 months. That's just depressing. Play any games recently? Huh. What a convenient edit. Now this is a video game. Super Mario Galaxy and its sequel are some of the best games ever made, so I'm going to spend the next few minutes gushing about them. Mario games in general have always been of above average quality, at least in the main series. I'm looking at you. The 3D Mario games have always stood out even in the crowd of other amazing Mario titles, with there usually being one per console. They're a pretty big deal, especially to Nintendo fans. They always build up a ton of hype and anticipation, and Galaxy's release was no exception. Now, if you were a game designer at Nintendo and you were tasked with making the successor to Super Mario Sunshine, arguably the most happy-go-lucky Mario game, it's only natural that you'd set it in space. The loneliest place in the universe. There's always been something so interesting to me about the atmosphere of the Galaxy games. They're the only Mario games that make me feel kinda sad. Especially in the first game, there's a melancholy undertone that sticks with you no matter how fast you blast through space. The music in it does an excellent job of selling this, but I'll talk more about that later. Now this is still Mario we're talking about, so it somehow manages to make you feel empty inside and filled with joy at the same time. Don't ask me how that works. The plot of Mario Galaxy is just as straightforward as every other Mario game. Peach gets kidnapped, except this time, you go to space! The intro sequence does its job of getting you used to the controls. You even get a fully rendered cutscene, which isn't groundbreaking, but it's still nice. Basically, Bowser wants control of the universe and steals Power Stars and Grand Stars to power his machines to do so. This creates a problem for the new character, Princess Rosalina, who uses those stars to fly her massive observatory spaceship thing. After Mario is launched into space, he runs into the Space Princess lady and she stuffs one of her kids underneath his hat, giving him cool Beyblade powers. She offers to help him fight Bowser to get what they both lost back, and after that you're thrown right into gameplay and never look back. That's as deep as a Mario story is gonna get. You can look around and explore to find out more about Rosalina's past, among other things, but the main plot mostly just takes a back seat during this journey. It's fucking Mario. Galaxy is played with the Wiimote Nunchuck combo and has heavy usage of motion controls. Now you'd think that'd be a bad thing, but no, they're actually used really well. For the most part. Mario has all his classical moves like run, jump, bigger jump, and jump but farther, but he also has those previously mentioned Beyblade powers that basically give him a spin jump that he can use to stay in the air longer, break things, and attack enemies. I love the spin jump. It was so well mixed with the rest of his moveset that I found it hard going back to titles that didn't have it. There's something about it that's just so satisfying to do. I'd often find myself just fooling around in the hub with it instead of actually progressing. Speaking of which, the game is split up into a bunch of level type things called galaxies. Each galaxy has a few missions that you can collect a star at the end of. Groups of galaxies are split across different observatories across Rosalina's spaceship that are kind of the replacement for traditional worlds in Mario games. The mission format works pretty much the same as far as it has in previous Mario games, with you exiting the level once you touch a star and needing a certain amount of stars to progress. Now, there's something kinda big that I haven't mentioned until now that really separates Galaxy from other Mario titles and justifies the game's setting. Gravity. Gravity in Mario games is one of the coolest game mechanics I've ever experienced. Across the two games, they've really used it to pretty much its full potential in interesting level designs and challenges. At first it's a little headache-inducing, but once you get used to it, it's super fun to fuck around with. Gravity and the spin jump are the only new mechanics in Galaxy though. It and its sequel introduced some of the best power-ups in Mario history. For the most part, each power-up has its own galaxy that helps introduce it to the player and test the player's abilities with it. There are always the mainstays, such as the Invincibility Star and the Fire Flower, that work exactly how they usually do, but the new ones are just as cool. Mario Galaxy introduced the Ice Flower, which works completely differently to how it works in the new Super games. Instead of being a glorified reskin, it turns Mario into ice and allows him to skate on water and wall jump off waterfalls. It's super sick. One of the downsides to this power-up and Galaxy's version of the Fire Flower though, is that they're on a time limit. You can only use them for a short amount of time before you have to find them again. I understand why this is the case though. Without it, the game would just be a tad bit too easy. It also allows developers to make extra challenges, just that little bit more challenging. The Galaxy games also introduced the Boo Mushroom that kills Mario? Like, he's a ghost now, so is he dead? I don't really want to think about that. It's kind of similar to the invisibility cap from Mario 64, except you kind of do a slow flying type thing. Still, a pretty solid power-up. Next, we have the Endangered Species Mushroom. This one turns you into a bee. You can do bee things now, like pissing people off. Spring Mushroom. Thanks, I hate it. Rock Mushroom. Sonic had a rough time transitioning into 3D. Cloudflower. The best one. You are the weather god. Red Star. Game Mode 1. The Red Star is pretty much the most underused power-up ever. You'd think since it's a flying power-up, the galaxy that it's in would be awesome. But it doesn't have its own galaxy. It's really just a missed opportunity that they could have done so much more with. But instead, they did this and then cut it from Galaxy 2. Now this is the part I'm really excited to talk about. Don't you love it when games make you feel small and meaningless? No. Come on. This probably sounds like a bad thing, but that's just my stupid wording. Like I mentioned at the start of this video, Mario Galaxy makes me feel empty and fills me with joy at the same time. Don't ask me. Never mind, I'll explain it. There's no easy way to get you to understand what I mean, other than you actually playing the game for yourself, but I'll try. To start, Mario Galaxy's visuals were amazing for a game from 2007. Granted, the gameplay in this video was captured on an emulator with HD textures. Even without that, on an actual Wii hardware, the game's atmosphere was incredible. One of the highlights of most Mario games is the soundtrack, and both Galaxy games knock this out of the park. The variety in the music is insane. You can go from, I got a new dog, to my dog died in literal seconds. There are so many standout tracks in these games composed by these two fellas that I could probably make a whole video just talking about the music. I'm not doing that. The world design, visuals, and music come together to make something truly amazing that I honestly don't see in a lot of space games. There's something about the empty void in Galaxy that's so calming, rather than the scary, unforgiving void that's portrayed in most space-dwelling video games. Do you think that'll work? Not enough m&ms kite racing. Damn it, you're right.